Welcome back to Midnight Railway Tales. Find a comfortable corner, pull up your blanket, and imagine you are boarding tonight's train with me, leaving the noise of the city far behind. Our journey tonight will take us across the islands and peninsulas of Denmark, under a misty autumn sky, where the air smells of sea salt and fallen leaves. And as the train carries us through the night, we will explore the soul of Denmark, a story of ancient Viking kings, whimsical fairy tale storytellers, and the quiet, deeply felt philosophy of Hygge. Now the train doors have closed. Close your eyes and listen. Our journey begins. You are crossing softly lit platforms beneath the vaulted glass canopy of Copenhagen Central Station. The city hums faintly behind you, its last echoes caught in the folds of your woolen scarf. The train pulls away with a gentle sway, and the rhythm of wheels on rails becomes your companion. As you settle in, a panorama unfolds twilight, lingering on copper-clad spires, their reflections trembling in the narrow canals. The waters here remember centuries of sailors and merchants. You pass rows of painted townhouses, leaning slightly, with time their windows glowing like lanterns in the dusk. An autumn mist curls through the city's cobbled streets. You catch glimpses of bicycles parked beneath rain-slicked lampposts. The scent of roasted chestnuts drifts from an unseen cart. Somewhere, the faint strains of a street musician's violin follow your departing train. You glide past Christianshavn, where houseboats bob gently. The air holds a hint of brine. Denmark is a nation always in conversation with the sea. Beyond the old ramparts of Kastellet, silhouetted wind turbines turn slowly against the evening sky, blending ancient and modern visions. In the distance rises the marble dome of Frederick's Church, the Marmorkirken noble and pale against the deepening blue. Its stones whisper of royal ambitions and the quiet patience of its builders who spent more than a century bringing it to life. Soon, city lights thin. The train curves northward through outer neighborhoods where windows flicker with the simple warmth of Hygge candles on tables, books resting beside steaming mugs, soft laughter woven into the fabric of home. As the landscape opens, dark silhouettes of swans drift upon the lakes of Utterslev Moss. Their reflections stretch across mirrored waters framed by reeds that sway with the whispering breeze. Above, the night deepens. Stars blink faintly through the mist. You feel the subtle shift of the train as it gathers speed, carrying you beyond the familiar into Denmark's quieter heartlands. And as you lean against the window pane, lulled by the gentle motion, the spirit of Copenhagen lingers like a final soft note in an evening song. The city fades behind you, a tapestry of past and present, while the rails ahead gleam like threads of possibility in the dark. You exhale slowly, and the journey continues. You awaken to the gentle hum of the train, weaving deeper into Zealand's countryside. The lights of the city have long since vanished, replaced by a realm of shadow and softly glowing mist. You press your cheek against the cool glass. Outside, the landscape rolls by in tones of silver and deep green. Forests of ancient oak and beech trees rise on either side of the tracks, their towering forms shrouded in fog. The branches gnarled and reaching cradle, countless leaves now turned to gold and russet whispers of a fading season. You are gliding through one of Denmark's oldest woodlands. These are the forests of North Zealand, where legends breathe among the roots. Somewhere beyond the train's path lies Gripskov, a vast expanse once the royal hunting grounds of kings. You imagine their ghostly retinues, stags pursued beneath the cold autumn moon horns echoing through the hollows. A flash of movement catches your eye. There between the trunks, a red deer steps cautiously from the underbrush. Its coat gleams dark against the pale leaves. Antlers crown its head like a living sculpture. For a moment it watches the passing train with unblinking eyes, ancient as the land itself before vanishing into shadow. In this hour of night, the forest seems alive. The wind carries a tapestry of scents, moss, damp earth, the faint perfume of distant pine. Beneath the foliage, carpets of mushrooms flourish their caps, small worlds unto themselves. You glide past low stone walls, their lichen-covered surfaces hinting at farms long vanished. Here, folklore runs deep. Tales of woodland spirits, skofruer, persist in village memory. Graceful women of the forest said to lure wanderers with their song. Though reason tells you otherwise, you find yourself listening, half expecting to hear such a voice beneath the murmur of the wheels. A flock of hooded crows lifts from a skeletal birch, their dark wings scattering like ink against the gray sky. The night air cools. You draw your blanket closer, the train, a small warm cocoon amid this ancient breathing wilderness. Soon the forest thins. You pass through pockets of open heathland where juniper bushes crouch low, silvered with dew. In the distance, faint lights mark the edges of remote villages, clusters of thatched roofs and timbered walls where the traditions of rural Denmark still flourish. In one such hamlet, a candle glows in every window, a practice older than memory. Long ago, this light was said to guide wayfarers through the dark or signal the welcome of hearth and home. Tonight, they seem to welcome you too, a traveler in spirit passing quietly through. The train begins to slow. Another station lies ahead, a solitary platform embraced by forest. A lone figure waits beneath the lamplight scarf, pulled tight against the chill. The doors hiss open, a brief exchange of warmth and silence before closing once more. You glide onward, deeper into the heart of Zealand. The trees return, standing like sentinels beneath the stars. Here the night is thick with stories of Vikings who once sought shelter beneath these boughs, of witches who gathered herbs by moonlight, of lovers who left carved initials in ancient trunks. And as you drift within this living tapestry, you feel time loosen its grip. The train carries you not merely through space, but through centuries of memory and dream. The wheels sing softly on the rails. The forest breathes. And you, a quiet passenger in the night, journey on. The rhythm of the train shifts beneath you, a subtle change in tone, a deeper hum. You stir and lift your gaze. The forested embrace of Zealand begins to part, revealing broad open fields brushed with mist. You are nearing the edge of the island now, where land gives way to sea. The horizon ahead gleams faintly, the first suggestion of water reflecting the night sky. A salty tang rises in the air, crisp and cool against your skin. Soon steel girders loom out of the darkness, tall skeletal giants that mark the threshold of a great crossing. The train slows briefly, then begins its ascent onto the Great Belt Bridge. You cross in silence, the carriage gliding above endless black water. The rails hum like taut strings beneath you. Outside, the vast expanse of the store belt stretches beneath a dome of stars. Here, between Zealand and Funen, the sea rules with timeless grace. You lean against the window breath fogging the glass. The bridge's lights trace slender lines across the deep. Far below, waves churn softly. The tide speaks a language older than any kingdom. Above the bridge, seabirds wheel silver-winged kittiwakes and black-backed gulls, their cries distant and raw. They ride unseen currents, masters of this wind-swept domain. You watch them drift and spiral free as the legends that haunt these waters. For centuries, this strait was a boundary and a bond, a channel plied by Viking longships, their sails taut with adventure. You imagine their dragon-prowed vessels slicing through the waves beneath where you now glide, warriors scanning the mist for distant shores. Some say the sea here remembers every ship that crossed it, every soul who braved its depths. On stormy nights, old sailors claim to hear the oars of phantom crews and the mournful horns of lost fleets. Tonight, the sea is calm, a dark mirror holding the stars. You pass beneath the towering pylons of the suspension span, immense pillars anchored in rock and tide. The cables hum faintly in the wind, a low resonant song. Midway across, you glimpse Funen's shoreline, a dark line beneath the horizon. Beyond it lies a land of orchards and half-timbered towns waiting to unfold its stories. The train seems to float between worlds, land behind land ahead, and the eternal sea below. For a moment, time drifts. You feel yourself part of something vaster than any map, a small presence upon this bridge of light and shadow. As the train descends toward Funen, the pylons fall away behind you, their silhouettes fading into mist. The hum of the rails deepens once more, anchoring you in the here and now. The crossing is complete, yet its quiet spell lingers. You close your eyes for a moment, the motion of the train echoing the ancient rhythm of the sea. When you open them again, the first fields of Funen greet you soft with dew, bordered by hedgerows and old stone walls. The island beckons with new tales, and your journey flows onward, a silver thread weaving through the Danish night. You glide now through the gentle heart of Denmark. Funen, an island cradled between sea and sky, its fields and forests brushed with the hues of autumn. The land outside your window breathes softly, a patchwork of orchards, meadows, and quaint villages folded beneath the lingering mist. The train winds through rolling countryside where apple trees bend beneath the weight of their fruit, their branches heavy with red and gold arch toward narrow lanes lined with hedgerows. In the distance, windmills stand sentinel atop low hills, their wooden sails creaking faintly in the breeze. You pass timber-framed houses, their walls whitewashed and beamed in deep brown thatched roofs sloping gently beneath the sky. Smoke curls from stone chimneys. Behind glowing windows, families gather, the soft light of Hygge shimmering like a beacon in the night. This is the island of Hans Christian Andersen, and you feel his presence here as surely as the damp earth beneath the rails. Born in Odense, not far from this line, he wandered these very lanes and woodlands, gathering the threads of tales now woven into the world's imagination. You picture a young Andersen walking beneath these same trees, a notebook tucked beneath one arm, the scent of apple blossom and sea air swirling about him. Here, perhaps, he glimpsed the first outlines of a steadfast tin soldier, a little mermaid, a snow queen. The island whispers such stories still. A flock of starlings sweeps across the twilight fields in a murmuration shifting patterns like living lace against the fading sky. You watch them wheel and turn their silent dance, a fleeting poem in motion. Deeper into Funen, you travel through sleepy hamlets, where the past lingers in crooked doorways and cobbled squares. Villages like Kerteminde and Faaborg breathe a rhythm untouched by haste. Here time slows, inviting you to linger, to notice the texture of a stone wall, the faded script on an old shop sign, the warmth of a hand-knit shawl wrapped against the chill. The philosophy of Hygge lives in this land. Not a product to be bought, but a feeling of warmth against the cold of stories shared by candlelight, of finding beauty in the small and ordinary. It wraps around you now as the train glides through this soft, darkening landscape. Beneath a stand of copper beeches, you glimpse a red fox trotting along a hedgerow, its coat rich and sleek in the moonlight. It pauses, ears flicking, then disappears into the undergrowth, a quiet spirit of the land. The train slows once more, passing beneath wrought iron arches into Odense. The old city rests in shadow, its cathedral spire rising like a dark quill against the stars. Somewhere beyond the tracks lies the house where Andersen dreamed his first dreams, a modest place with blue shutters and worn floors that once cradled a world of wonder. As the station lights recede behind you, Funen opens once more to countryside. The night air grows colder. Frost begins to silver the grass along the embankments. You draw your blanket close the rhythm of the train, a steady heartbeat in the dark. Beyond the window, the land whispers still of fairy tales and hearth fire, of starlit walks and quiet joys. And as you drift with the train deeper into the Danish night, you carry these stories with you, soft as the turning pages of a well-loved book. The train hums softly as you leave Funen behind wheels, singing a quiet song beneath the cool night sky. You cross low bridges and slip past fields rimed with frost, the sea now a memory in the distance. Ahead lies Jutland, the great peninsula of Denmark stretching north beneath the stars. Your arrival is marked not by grand mountains or vast forests, but by the gentle expanse of heathlands. You glide through open moors, brushed in silver and violet, where low shrubs of heather sway in the breeze. In the dim light, the land seems to breathe broad and quiet, as though exhaling centuries of stories into the night. This is the realm of the Hygge, the heath, a landscape shaped by wind and weather resilience and change. Long ago, these lands were dense forest, but the hands of ancient farmers and the hooves of countless sheep transformed them into the open, rolling wilderness you see now. The scent of the heath drifts through the air, earthy sharp, with the tang of juniper and thyme. The soil is sandy beneath the scrub, dotted with gnarled pines, standing solitary against the wind. Somewhere in this vastness, you know, lie the buried traces of Denmark's distant past. Bronze Age barrows rise like gentle humps amid the heather, their earthen mounds soft under the moonlight. Within them, the bones of chieftains rest, their gaze turned eternally to the stars. You pass through small towns, Herning Viborg, where brick houses cluster close, and the lamps of quiet streets shimmer like beads of amber in the dark. The windows flicker with scenes of modern life, but beneath it runs an old current, the fierce, enduring spirit of the Jutlanders. This land has always bred resilience. Here farmers wrested a living from poor soil, their days measured by the turning of the wind. Fishermen braved the North Sea's shifting moods, and merchants carried wool and iron to distant shores. Folk songs tell of this tenacity. The old visor speak of loves lost and storms weathered of maidens who danced upon the heather of wanderers drawn ever onward beneath a changeless sky. As your train curves gently through the moors, the landscape begins to rise and fall. The night air sharpens. Frost glitters on wooden fences on stone walls softened by lichen. A sudden flutter draws your gaze. A short-eared owl lifts from a fence post, wings pale and silent as it glides low over the heath. In this stillness, every movement feels sacred. The rhythm of the train rocks you gently. You imagine the voices of those who once crossed this land on foot or horseback, their songs blending with the wind. The heath remembers them all. You pass wind-blown copses of birch and pine, their trunks pale ghosts amid the dark. The heather stretches on endless quiet, touched by moonlight. You feel as though you are moving through an ancient dream. The train slows near a lonely siding. A single signal lamp glows red amid the frost. No passengers board or depart here. The stop is brief, a nod to some forgotten timetable. As the train gathers speed once more, you drift back into reverie. The heath hums beneath you, its quiet strength a companion on this night-bound journey. And with the steady pulse of the rails beneath you, you journey onward northward, still into the deep heart of Jutland. The stories of the moor linger like a half-remembered song carrying you into the dark beyond. The dawn of a new hour greets you with a subtle shift in the air. The heathlands fall away behind you, and the train glides into the embrace of Denmark's second city, Aarhus. You sense the change before you see it. The rhythm of the rails grows smoother, the hum of urban life awakening around you. The glow of street lamps outlines modern silhouettes against the star-flecked sky, glass, steel, and brick, interwoven with quiet courtyards and leafy boulevards. Aarhus rises from the landscape like a living tapestry. A city of contrasts, it balances the spirit of the past with the pulse of the present. You watch as sleek trams hum past medieval half-timbered houses, their eaves leaning close above cobbled streets. The train slides through the outskirts where modern apartment blocks stand alongside sculpted parks. Bicycle lights flicker like fireflies along winding paths. Beyond them, the glass curves of Dock 1, the great harbor library and cultural center catch the faint glow of dawn. Yet beneath this modern veneer, Aarhus holds stories as old as Denmark itself. Long before the age of steel and silicon, this was Aros, a Viking settlement nestled by the river. The spirits of those early seafarers linger still. Their tools and treasures sleep beneath the city's stones. As the train nears the station, you glimpse the twin spires of Aarhus Cathedral, the tallest in the land. Its brick walls have stood for centuries, their silent gaze spanning war and peace, famine and festival. You picture artisans of the past laying each stone with reverence. Within the air still holds the scent of ancient wood and candle wax, a hush of devotion amid the bustle outside. Departing the station once more, you pass through the heart of Aarhus. The Latin Quarter unfurls a maze of narrow lanes and ivy-clad cafes. Students with books beneath their arms drift past art galleries and vintage shops. The spirit of learning is woven into the city's fabric. Here, the university breathes life into every corner. You pass the Aros Art Museum, its iconic rainbow panorama crowning the skyline. A ring of colored glass, modern, playful, a symbol of the city's creative soul. Within its walls, bold visions and timeless stories converge, echoing the city's embrace of both innovation and heritage. Beyond the urban core, the sea calls. The train curves toward the bay, where the lights of fishing boats flicker on dark water. Along the shoreline, wooden piers stretch into the tide. Seals sometimes bask here on quiet mornings, their sleek forms glistening beneath the rising sun. In the distance, forested hills cradle the city, Riaskov, where beech trees stand tall above a carpet of fallen leaves. Walkers tread these paths by lamplight, their breath clouding in the cool air, hearts drawn to the simple joy of nature amid the city. As you lean into the window's warmth, you sense the pulse of Aarhus, not hurried, but vibrant. Here the Danish spirit finds a modern voice, one that values design and community heritage and harmony. You glide onward past suburban homes where lights flicker in cozy kitchens. The scent of baking bread drifts faintly through the night, another small thread in the tapestry of Hygge. The city falls away behind you, its lights twinkling like a constellation in the dark. Ahead lies the wild northern coast, where the land meets the restless sea. With the hum of the train beneath you and the lingering warmth of Aarhus in your heart, you settle back once more. The night's journey beckons onward, and the rails sing beneath you, steady, endless, a lullaby for the soul. The pulse of the city fades behind you, replaced by long stretches of darkened fields and flickering farmsteads. The train now follows a path toward Denmark's wild northern frontier, a land shaped by sea and sand, wind and light. You are heading to Skagen, the country's northernmost tip, where the land narrows to a fragile spit between two vast seas. The journey north feels lighter somehow, as if the weight of history and habitation has given way to the pull of raw nature. Outside your window, the land grows sparse. Fields give way to dunes and heath once more this time, touched by salt and sea spray. The air seems clearer here, washed clean by the unceasing winds of the Skagerrak and Kattegat. The rails curve through low hills of shifting sand, where marram grass whispers secrets to the stars. Beyond the dunes, dark waves crash upon empty beaches, their thunder carried inland on the breeze. You pass small fishing villages, Lundstrup Hirtshals, where boats rest upon gravel shores, their hulls weathered by countless tides. The scent of brine and tar lingers in the air, mingling with the faint aroma of smoked fish from shuttered smokehouses. Atop the cliffs, lighthouses stand sentinel. Their beams sweep the dark with patient grace, a rhythm older than steam and steel. You imagine sailors of old steering by these lights, their hearts lifted by each steadfast flash. Now the land narrows further. The sky opens wide above you, stars scattered across the deep velvet of night. You are approaching a place where two worlds meet. At Skagen's point, called Grennen, the Skagerrak and Kattegat seas collide in an eternal dance. Their waves rush toward one another, foam-crested and ceaseless, locked in a shimmering embrace. No ship can safely cross here. Even the bravest mariners steer clear of this restless border. You imagine standing there at dawn, feet in the cool sand, watching the two seas meet beneath a sky painted with seabird wings and shifting clouds. The light here is legendary, sharp, clear, almost otherworldly. It drew painters to Skagen for generations, seeking to capture its fleeting magic. In the late 19th century, the Skagen painters Anna and Michael Anker, P.S. Kreuer, gathered here to immortalize the light, the sea, the hardy lives of local fishermen. Their works still glow with the soul of this place. Rough hands mending nets, wind-blown hair, sunlit beaches, the eternal dance of water and sky. Your train hums north through this land of living canvas. In the dunes, common seals rest their dark eyes gleaming in the starlight. They raise sleek heads as the train passes, then settle once more into the sand. You sense the edges of the world here, a place where land dissolves into water, where time feels thin and the wind speaks an older tongue. Skagen holds a quiet power both fierce and tender. The train slows for its northernmost stop. Beyond the platform, only dunes and the dark sea remain. A few passengers disembark their figures, small beneath the sweep of the night. You remain aboard, carried onward by the steady song of the rails. The northern light of Skagen lingers in your mind, a memory of wild beauty, of meeting tides and infinite skies. As the train begins its southward turn, you breathe in deeply, carrying the essence of this place within you. The journey is not yet done. Ahead lie gentler lands, rich with memory and meaning. And so, you glide onward beneath the quiet stars. The train turns south now, its motion a gentle cradle as you leave the wind-scoured coast behind. The wild light of Skagen fades into memory, replaced by softer horizons. You are entering South Jutland, a land of borderlands and quiet resilience, where history flows like an unseen current beneath the fields and hills. The landscape here is gentler than the north. Low rolling meadows stretch beneath a pale sky. Frosted hedgerows trace ancient boundaries, their gnarled branches cradling nests of storks. In the dark of night, you cannot see them, but in your mind's eye, you picture them tall white figures, poised upon red-tiled rooftops, their silhouettes timeless against the morning mist. Storks are symbols of renewal here, harbingers of good fortune. Villages welcome them with open hearts, weaving their return into the fabric of local life. Even now, beneath the stars, you sense that quiet hopefulness lingering in the air. The train glides past fields where old stone churches rise from the land, their spires slender against the heavens. These are Danske kirker, simple, enduring their whitewashed walls marked by the centuries. Many hold runestones in their yards, their carved runes softened by time, yet still whispering the voices of ancestors. South Jutland has long known the ebb and flow of borders. This is a land shaped by the shifting lines between Denmark and Germany, by wars and treaties, resilience and reconciliation. The soil beneath you holds the weight of these stories. You pass near Sunderborg, where the waters of the Alsund shimmer in the distance. The old castle there once guarded the frontier. Now its halls echo with the footfalls of curious visitors, the clang of swords replaced by the soft murmur of history retold. Further on lies the Diebel Mill, a solitary windmill standing atop a hill, its sails turning slowly in the breeze. Here in 1864, fierce battles raged. Danish soldiers fought to hold the line, their courage etched into the soul of the land. Yet beneath the memory of conflict lies a deeper current of unity. Today, South Jutland embraces both Danish and German heritage, a place where languages mingle, traditions intertwine, and the wounds of the past are healed through shared understanding. The train curves through small towns where this spirit of harmony breathes in daily life. Street signs appear in two tongues. Bakeries offer both Danish wienerbröd and German strudel. In cafes, conversations flow easily between neighbors, bridging histories once divided. Beyond the villages, the land opens to great marshes, Vadehav, the Wadden Sea. Though hidden now beneath the tide, these mudflats teem with life. Each year, millions of migratory birds gather here, their wings painting the sky in vast shifting patterns. You imagine them now, knots and godwits, curlews and plovers, their calls rising above the whisper of the sea. Even in the stillness of this night train, you feel the pull of that wild, living edge, a place where sky, land, and water merge. The train begins its final descent toward the southern border. The landscape softens, further gentle hills, winding rivers, the occasional flicker of a farmhouse lamp. The air grows colder. Frost sparkles upon the rails. You close your eyes for a moment, the rhythm of the train echoing the quiet pulse of this borderland. In this place of meeting and parting, you feel the weight of stories of journeys begun and ended, of bridges built across time. As the train glides onward, you sense the wisdom of the land itself, a patience born of centuries, a gentle resilience, a deep knowing that beneath every shifting line, life endures and flows. And with that quiet understanding, you journey on, wrapped in the hush of the rails, the embrace of the night, the timeless song of Denmark. The train slows now, the journey's end drawing near. Outside your window, the first pale light of dawn brushes the horizon, a soft promise of morning beneath the lingering stars. You remain still, wrapped in your blanket breath, slow and even. The night has carried you across Denmark's varied heart, through city and forest, across bridges and seas, along heath and coast, and gentle borderlands. Each place has offered its own quiet gift, the glow of Copenhagen's canals, the hush of Zealand's ancient woods, the vast embrace of the Great Belt, the tender stories of Funen, the windswept spirit of Jutland's moors, and the vibrant soul of Aarhus, the luminous meeting of the seas at Skagen, and the deep wisdom of South Jutland's patient earth. You feel these moments settle within you like small glowing embers, fragments of a greater story softly gathered as the train carried you through the dark. And perhaps, too, you have glimpsed something of Denmark's spirit, not just in its landscapes or its history, but in its gentle way of being, in the warmth of a candlelit window, in the resilience of wind-bent trees, in the quiet joy of finding beauty in small fleeting things. The wheels whisper beneath you, slower now. The train begins to ease into its final station. Yet in your heart, the journey continues, a thread of calm and wonder stretching beyond the rails. As you breathe in the stillness of this early hour, know that you may return to this place any time you wish, in memory, in dream, in the gentle rhythm of a midnight train. And now, dear traveler, rest. Let the quiet of this night cradle you. Let sleep come soft and deep. The journey is done, for now.